Hello and welcome to my vintage audiophile channel. This is my 12th video in a series of videos that I will be producing. Today we are going to be talking about something a little different than what I've talked about before, and that is a boombox that was put out in the mid-80s by a brand called Vector Research. You're probably asking yourself, who the heck's Vector Research? And you wouldn't be alone in that. They were around for around 10 years, from about 80 to 90. Towards the end, they changed their name to Carrera and made a few things. But this is what they got their start in, and they were actually pretty good stuff. They had some components like receivers and amps that were really good quality. Some of them were really high wattage. This is, as far as I know, this was the only boombox they made. It is the VMC-100. It is from about the mid 80s, I'd say around 85, 84. It is a very, very beefy radio. It probably weighs about 35 pounds. So it's kind of almost out of the realm of boom boxes that were out at the time, that were much more lighter, that you could carry around portable. This one is, as you can see with the handle, can be carried around portable, but it also makes a great bookshelf system, because the speakers are both detachable, and so is the handle, and the two halves of the radio from the tape player and above, they separate also, so you can put them side by side if you wanted to, or do whatever you'd like. The speakers are two-way with a 4-inch woofer and a piezo tweeter in each one of them. It has a lot of features on it, a lot of them that weren't included in other boomboxes of the era. I will point out the ones that as I go along here. This here is the power button that turns it on. As you can see, it's playing, and it is currently on FM, and it's showing FM stereo. And there is a mode button over here that you can turn it to stereo or mono. As you see, the stereo button will leave you. It has a band button over here, which is for AM or FM. It does have a loudness button over here so that you can add your bass to it if you want to. You have a volume button, a balance button, a 7-band graphic equalizer, and a source tape, so that if you want to listen to the tape, you can push that in and listen to the tape. It has a other source button over here, which is for tuner or turntable. It has a thing on the back with your ground and your two RCAs to add a turntable to this if you wanted to make it even better system, or anything else you'd like to put in there as far as auxiliary. Here's your tuning knob. Down below we have a tape deck that is kind of top of the line for a boombox. It has music search on and off, so that if you want to do cue and review to it, you can either turn it on or turn it off. It has 2 mic jacks. It has your standard buttons, push buttons for your tape. It has a tape counter. It has an on-off mute button, so if you want to temporarily interrupt the music while you're recording something. It has Dolby on and off. It has a normal chromium dioxide and metal tape selector. It has a record level plus a record level balance, so that you can change each individual thing here. On the back of the speakers, they are standard wire that plugs into the back of the radio, and on the speakers themselves they have an RCA jack, so that that makes them even easier to use if you want to use different speakers with it. It does have the FM antenna. It's kind of hard to see right now, but it is all the way up and extended. As you can see, it's playing the radio right now. And if I push this button in right here, those lights don't disappear, but it allows you to listen to your tape. And the tape player does work on this also, which attests to the build quality of this thing. I've never had to do anything to it. Just keep using it and playing it, and it's 35 years old. If you want to hold on a second while I pause this video momentarily, I will turn it around to show you what the back looks like. Here on the back with it turned around, you can see it's got a lot of things on the back that a lot of your boomboxes of the day didn't have. Here is the RCA jack that plugs into the speaker. If you trace it back here, here's where you would put your speaker wire on if you wanted to add a different speaker onto it. You've got your antenna, plus you can also add an external antenna if you want, if you think that the regular antenna isn't powerful enough. Here is where your auxiliary / phono fit goes into. Here's the ground for the phono. There's a button here to switch it either to auxiliary or phono, so that it switches on the phono part of it. All of these here are things that plug into the two separate units so that they work in tandem together. Here you got your power cord, which is removable. And as you can see, there's a lot of different things on here. You got your inputs and your outputs and powers. And it does include a lot of stuff on it. It is vented so that it doesn't build up too much heat. It looks like it says the power on this here is 15 watts, but it sounds much louder than that, and it has 4 ohm speakers, so you could use 4 ohm speakers if you want to. Or if you want to use a higher ohm speaker, you could use a higher ohm speaker. It just wouldn't be as loud. Like I say, it's a really good boombox. It's kind of like the precursor to the more modern shelf systems that came out a little later that became so popular. This was kind of like the precursor to that, because you could detach the speakers and make it into a shelf system if you wanted, and take off the handle if you want to make it even more compact to put in tighter areas. The speaker wires themselves are probably about 6 feet each way on a thing, so you've got about 12-foot separation, which is pretty decent separation. You could get a good stereo imaging from that, and that's about it. That's what we have here for you today. It is a great boombox. They didn't sell many of them because most people didn't know who Vector Research was, number one, and when they picked the things up to use them as a boombox, the weight kind of turned them off. So they're pretty rare today. If you're lucky to find one, they do sell for a fair amount of money, anywhere from $100 to $200, depending upon condition. And if you do happen to buy one or find one that is cheaper than that, by all means, snap it up, because you won't be disappointed. The bass on it isn't big bass like some of the newer systems on it, but for the time it was pretty much standard bass. It could possibly be that there was the speakers themselves that just weren't able to handle that much bass. If you were to put better speakers in there, you might have a better bass, but who knows? I've never had to try it. I like it just the way it is. Until next time, thank you for thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions about this or any other videos of mine, please don't hesitate to comment or question on them. If there's something else that you would like to see me talk about, I will do my best to accommodate you if I have it in my arsenal. And until next time, have a great day. Thank you very much, and goodbye.